to allow this industry to fail is not acceptable.
Governor of Michigan, Jennifer Granholm, and the big three automakers have been pressing Congress this week for cash to keep the American car industry running. How much cash? Oh, just a measly $50 billion. They're probably going to get it, too. Soon-to-be White House Chief of Staff Rahm Emanuel didn't exactly say no when prompted by ABC's George Stephanopoulos.
First, the auto industry is an essential part of our economy, an essential part of our industrial base. Second, they should look at accelerating the $25 billion that was offered for retooling for the industry going forward.
But some news reports make it seem like a bailout is the only option.
Then the need for some sort of rescue plan became more urgent after General Motors released its quarterly results last week.
It's burning through $2 billion a month and could run out of cash next year unless it gets a lifeline from Capitol Hill.
There are a few people who think a failure of one of the big three would do some good.
Where is it written in Scripture and in stone that we need to have a big three, and that if one of them is to go down, then the whole industry is threatened? If one of them goes down, the industry will be doing much better.
That's Dan Ikinson, Associate Director of Cato's Center for Trade Policy Studies. Ikinson pointed out on Cato's blog that Detroit's problems predate the financial meltdown. He said the big three signed on to unsustainable policies like requiring management to pay workers at 90% of their salaries when they were laid off, and a Cadillac platter of health and retirement benefits for the United Auto Workers Union. There were a few journalists that mentioned how poorly managed the companies have been. Check out this exchange.
That if the auto industry fails in the United States for whatever reason, because somebody hasn't stepped up, it would mean between 3 and 5 million jobs.
Let me just go back and take some issue with something you just said for a second, because you said if the auto industry fails because someone doesn't step up, a lot of people would make the argument, Governor Granholm, that the auto industry will fail because the auto industry has failed to keep pace with its competition.
Now I know what you're thinking. Didn't the U.S. government bail out Chrysler at one time? How is the current bailout different?
Well, it's different this time because the landscape is different.
This is Bloomberg editor-at-large Doran Levin.
First of all, Chrysler was the weakest of a Detroit automaking trio that basically controlled the market and had 90%. What you have now is 3 weak automakers, and together they control less than half the market.
And I've been saying for a long time that you've got to be competitive, and the government can help. We will provide you with the resources you need to retool. We'll help you with some of your legacy costs in terms of health care and pension costs for your workers. But in exchange, that money has to be reinvested in creating the high energy, the high efficiency cars of the future.
For the Business and Media Institute, this has been the BizVlog.